Khandozhko in the red. Benny Alloway gave us a little nod, looked very relaxed just before they were brought together for the final instructions by the referee. Benny Alloway has huge experience, fought at the highest level. And I love his approach to fighting as well, very relaxed. Embraces the challenge, doesn't back down from things like this, and straight away, Sergei using that body kick.
Yeah, right now, just looking at the fight, Sergei's going to look like he's going to have an advantage in power when it comes to throwing punches. His stance, his knees are bent, he's more loaded, whereas Benny almost has more of a Muay Thai type style, where he's straight up and down, keeping the lead leg light so it's easier to pick up and check. But as far as being able to establish power or change levels for a takedown, it takes it to more difficult. And there you see actually he's bending the knees a little bit more, nice effective jab, but he's, after the jab though, he's kind of sliding to his left as he's dropping the hand in retraction, and that leaves him open to an overhand right.
Looking there, maybe for the single leg on the way in.
That's good, though. It shows intent that he's going to maybe take this fight somewhere else, and adds an element for Sergei to have to worry about, that it's not going to be a pure stand-up match, that this is MMA, and if you make a mistake, I'm going to put you on your back. And so that just, it will change off. Oh, nice jab!
Oh, comes in quickly.
Sergei did a great job of being able to pull his hips back and try to get back up to his feet. Again, he's posting and pulling back.
Blood coming from the nose of Sergei Khandozhko. That was a huge straight hand, straight left.
Looked like a jab as far as what I saw, and great positioning. He must have caught him perfectly, because as far as body posturing, he didn't look like he was very loaded for that, but you know, he came in, he turned his shoulders and had his weight behind it. And here again, you know, Sergei's doing the I'm going to hug you and hold on and get the referee to start the fight over. And Benny needs to go ahead and have some tripod up, drive his head down, maybe even step over into the half guard, show that he's improving his position.
Looking to try and force his arms out there.
Now see that, I am not a fan of that aspect of our sport. Sergei basically stalled and is rewarded for stalling and stood back up in a neutral position where he wants to be.
And Benny Alloway let the referee know what he thought about that with one look. Wasn't happy at all that was stood up so quickly.
Well, I mean, basically, according to how our rule system is set up, the referee had no choice. Sergei had trapped off the mobility of Benny to not be able to move and create forward pressure. Oh!
Big left hand as he came in as well.
You know what? He's making me eat my words as far as his power and his punches, because his stance doesn't really exude that I'm in a position to hit hard. He obviously has the ability to good focus on his knuckles and turn the hips.
It's a very deceiving thing about Benny Alloway. If you look at his background, the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, people think he's a ground fighter, and this got him, the power in his shots actually surprises a lot of people. He's got a lot of knockouts, a lot of KOs, TKOs.
I'm a believer now. He's caught him twice in this round. I mean, the first one was the one where he had the knockdown, but even after that exchange, it came back up and it looked like another shot. It actually stunned Sergei again.
Benny's got to be careful, though. He's keeping his hands very low, and Sergei's got excellent kicks. Big hook there and takes it down himself.
More of an off-balance shot than the shot that Benny had landed. I think that Sergei's taking advantage of covering him and hoping to go ahead and pull out the nod from the judges on this first round.
Just 1 minute left of this first round.
And you see the difference in styles here, where Sergei was immediately trying to get up to his feet and made it hard and difficult for Benny to stay on top of him. Benny, though, is conceding the position to be on the ground, but while he's looking for submissions and ground attacks. And I really think the best approach is a combination of the two. Right now, I think that Sergei wants to keep the fight right where he is and kind of recover and relax.
And Benny, yeah, again, just 40 seconds left of this round.
And that was to the advantage of Benny.
Too impressive. Well, one knockdown and one very hard strike from Benny.
Well, they're very intelligent, the array of Sergei. He's trying to grab the foot of Benny and land the punch to necessarily score that knockdown, even though it's not a true knockdown where you're stunning your opponent and causing that concussion shot where he loses balance. More almost kind of I punch you in the face while you have one foot on the ground and it knocks you over, and it looks good to the judges, but it's not necessarily the same effect on the fighter.
Round two here at ACB 48.
I think Sergei needs a little bit more head movement and avoid getting caught when he's coming forward. And if I was giving Benny anything, I would kind of eliminate any of the kicks above the hips, because obviously Sergei's shown very much an ability to catch them and try to knock them down with punches.
Benny looking very relaxed. One of the things he said to me before this fight is he feels comfortable. He said he almost had like, they talk about jitters when you go into the cage for a new promotion in the first fight. And he said he just feels very relaxed. He feels like the pressure's all on Sergei Honda. And it's showing. He's very relaxed in what he's doing. He's mixing it up and having a lot of success.
He is, he's keeping his composure. And, if this was a 3-round fight, I would be a little bit more nervous for him. And great foot sweep there on Sergei's part. He was able to counter. They're both in a 50-50. And was able to secure the takedown there with a nice little foot sweep over the hip. And now Benny's trapped against the cage, where again the jiu-jitsu submission skills might be a little bit limited. He's fighting his leg up. If he gets that knee over the elbow or over the bicep of Sergei, look for him to go ahead and shoot up that triangle.
3 minutes 40 in this.
Right now, Sergei is doing a great job of keeping forward pressure and tripoding. He doesn't have to worry about the sweeps now because his balance will be controlled by the cage wall behind Benny. Great job of Benny. Was able to move up to his knees. He cut the arm through, was able to exit the back door. Now he has a body lock of his own. Let's see if he's able to go ahead and establish any kind of takedown and control. Nice reap. Sergei was able to jump back up. Then he needs to keep forward pressure. He's got the seat belt, which is an underhook and then over the shoulder on the other side. But he needs to stay to his left, to Sergei's left side, because the fact that he has the seat belt where he has it, there's nothing stopping Sergei from bringing his right elbow between the two of them and locking up the leg and going out the back door himself.
Benny patient on top.
I would lock up a triangle on that thigh if I was Benny right now, and he can go ahead and secure a cross body ride. Sergei's in trouble with that choke right now. I think he needs to have a little bit more respect for where he's at. In fact, I think his arm might
be trapped in the leg, I think. I think it's trapped under the right leg. Benny's got both hooks in, but against the cage, it's hard for him to flatten him out in this position.
It is. Again, the cage adds a different element that sometimes we just work pure jiu-jitsu. Right now, if I was Benny, I'd go and lock up the body triangle, put the right foot underneath my left knee, and stay heavy and threaten with that choke, but do not let him out of here.
2 minutes left in this as well. That's a long time to have Benny Alloway on your back.
Yes, it is. Sergei is in a lot of trouble right now, but Benny can't fall asleep because Sergei can explode once and turn around right now. At least this makes it easy to score.
Benny patient with his jiu-jitsu game.
He is. He's just needs to keep one arm underneath at all times. You never want to put both arms over the top of the shoulders and be too aggressive with the attack. And anything right now, if he wants to, he has such a nice, stable position. I would rain down some shots.
Looks like he may have it under the chin.
He just needs to stay safe at the same time and not get too high over the back of Sergei and get reversed. And right now, it looks like there's a chance it might happen. It depends on what's going on with the left arm underneath of the neck right there. Sergei's doing a good job of swimming his legs out. And right now, if the choke gets missed or he loses that wrist control, he's in a bad position. Okay. Oh, great.
Look at that. Great transition from Benny. 56, 55 seconds left in this second round. Composure showed by both fighters in this position.
Absolutely. Sergei's not panicking badly. I mean, he's alert and he's trying to get out of here. But at the same time, Benny hasn't done anything too aggressive and lost the position, too desperate.
Mounts now and looking to rain down some shots. 30 seconds left. in his own corner as well. His brother in the corner, Josh.
Oh, he's got a forearm choke
right
on the one.
there.
Oh, it's going in, guys.
20 seconds left.
Oh, was able to survive that. Pulled off and just angled it just right. If I was Benny right now, I think sliding off for an arm bar with 10 seconds left would be a great gamble. Very low risk, not enough time for Sergei to be able to capitalize. Benny needs to go ahead and not make a mistake and get caught with something crazy, but he just needs to pour it on, I think, right now. Be smart with his combinations. Don't throw some. I would stop throwing the kicks if I was Benny, because Sergei is dead set in grabbing them. So either stop throwing them or utilize them, that when you lift your knee up a little bit, you realize that Sergei's going to try to grab it and go ahead and take advantage of that.
Benny working off the jab as well. Nice low kick.
Yeah, that inside one was a good choice. I don't like the any of the higher ones towards the hips and the ribs right now.
Benny's got to be very careful, very low hands. And Sergei's got huge power.
And he needs to keep him busy. Nice. Snatch the single, and he's back on top of him. Oh, and Sergei just kind of collapsed there in position.
Could get a crucifix here.
He does. If he ties up the arm and legs, oh, now he needs to be careful about pulling himself into a guillotine now, speaking about Sergei. Benny, if he goes ahead and traps and locks it up, he might go ahead and attempt to go for it. He's really deep under the chin. Now he's transitioning for a switch. But you know what, this still plays in the advantage of Benny, because you're forcing the striker to grapple right now, and he doesn't want to be doing that. And right now, that Kimura is a huge threat. See, right now he's locked it up. He decided to come out the back door. That's actually just superior wrestling right there. And he finished it off with a nice little double with the hips locked.
Into side half guard.
Yes. And it looks like he needs to stay busy, though. That the referee is already hovering over the top of him.
Benny's got great guard passes as well.
I would go ahead and stay in half guard if I was Benny. That way the referee makes it harder for Sergei to stand up. If he passes completely, there's a possibility of him standing up, even though it does open up more submissions. But from half guard, you can beat your opponent up. You still have the Kimura, Americana, and you have the head and arm choke or the Darce, which are both very highly effective. Oh, if he can secure that wrist underneath the back, that's going to help him draw over from the seatbelt, which he's doing right now. And now he's going to put Sergei in the same position they ended the second round in, where Sergei really not show an answer on how to get out of here. And if anything, he's going to get caught with his arm now in between there. Let's see if Sergei realizes that he needs to get that foot off of his hip. He's trying to, but Benny's doing a good job of really holding that underhook. Oh, he has it choking hard, guys.
As well. Look at this.
Wow, great job for Benny to attack the neck the way he is. Now he has the body triangle locked up. He's not going anywhere,
There we
guys.
go. This could be under the chin. Looks deep.
Yeah, Sergei's doing a great job of finishing it off.
Eventually, the jiu-jitsu of Benny Alloway. It's just too much for Sergei Honda. The ground game, the experience, the transitions.
It was. He stayed in a dangerous area for way too long. And, you know, Benny was very intelligent and didn't make any mistakes to give him any free escapes and back up to his feet. And eventually just wore him down and took advantage of his superior abilities there on the ground. And really, honestly, on the feet, too. You know, Sergei looks very accomplished as a kickboxer, but some of the better shots that were landed as far as effective concussive shots, I have to give to also Benny Holloway.
And you can see exactly.
Here was the finish.
Here.
That was a palm to palm. He had tried doing the typical more rear naked choke or the RNC Madeleine, where you have the arm behind the head and apply pressure on the carotid arteries. And then when your opponents are very good at finding that handoff, which he was able to pull the hand off the top of his head, so Benny was never able to slide it behind the head, and he transitioned off to a palm to palm grip, which forces a lot of pressure on the windpipe of your opponent.
classy as well from Benny Alloway, getting the crowd to recognise the talents of Sergei.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a time, 3 minutes and 9 seconds of round number 3. Удушающим приемом. Победу одержал and your winner by submission, relay show. Benny Alloway, Australia.